proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mr. Anderson. Will you please state and spell your name for the record?
Nathan Anderson, Nathananderson.
And Mr. Anderson, how old are you?
19.
And if I asked you to give us a 2-sentence descriptor of yourself, what would you tell us?
I'm a swim instructor. I teach kids how to swim.
And is that what you want to do long term, or what's your life plan?
Hoping to get into something like HVAC or a tree.
And Mr. Anderson, where did you grow up?
I was born in Galveston, but I moved to League City after Ike.
Okay. And where did you go to school?
Dickinson High School.
And what year did you graduate Dickinson High School?
2024.
So roughly a year and a half ago?
Yes.
Now, do you know anyone by the name of Tara King or Uriah?
Yes.
Which one?
I know Tara King more.
Okay. You say more. Does that mean you know Uriah a little bit?
I think with what's transpired, this is probably my first run-in with Uriah.
Okay.
I know of him, but this is where I actually first spoke with him.
Gotcha. And so let's start with Tara. When did you meet Tara?
In my sophomore year of high school, we were kind of just acquaintances who knew each other through friend groups.
Okay. So did y'all kind of run in the same circle?
No, we just knew people that knew each other, and we ended up following each other on socials.
So adjacent circles, is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you first met Tara, was she in a relationship with anybody?
I'm not under the impression that she was.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about what your impression of her was when you first met her.
Well, I thought she was kind of a shy girl, but when I got to know her, she kind of opened up a little bit more.
Okay. And did you and Tara develop a friendship or an acquaintanceship, or kind of tell me what y'all's interactions were like?
I'd say an acquaintanceship. We only talked very sparsely, but every interaction that we had was friendly.
Okay. And did y'all predominantly talk in person or on social media?
Social media.
Okay. And what social media would that have been?
Instagram.
Okay. And then you said you knew of Uriah. How did you know of Uriah?
I knew him that he was Tara's boyfriend. Later on throughout the year,
Okay.
that I knew Tara, and then I've seen him in the hallways a couple of times. Some people have talked about him before, maybe other friends, but
Okay. So is it fair to say you knew who he was and what he looked like, but y'all didn't talk much?
yeah.
Okay. Now, do you see the person, when we talk about Uriah, do you see that person in the courtroom?
Yes.
Could you please identify him by where he's seated and the item of clothing?
He's wearing a gray button-up shirt, and he's on the left side of me.
Your Honor, may the record reflect this witness has identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, you said that you knew that he was Tara's boyfriend as the year went on. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what did you notice about that relationship, if anything?
Nothing of note. Like I said, I only knew Tara as an acquaintance, so I don't think I really paid too much mind to their relationship.
Okay. And when you did see them at school, if you were paying attention, were they often with groups of people or by themselves?
I think they were among groups of people around the first while that they were dating, but as time had gone on, I think they started to stay like in a more close circle.
Okay. So the groups got smaller, is that fair?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Now I want to bring your attention to February of this year. Do you recall February?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did something occur that made you have interaction with Tara and Uriah in February?
Yes.
Okay. What was that?
So in February. I was sitting in college, and I was in the computer room just working on some essay, and then I got a phone call from Tara, and she had told me that.
No, don't tell me what anybody says, okay? So you got a phone call from Tara.
Yes.
Is she the only one on the line?
No.
Who else is on the line?
Uriah.
And just to kind of, just so everyone's on the same page, do Tara and Uriah ever go by any other names?
I know that Tara went by Aaron, and I believe that Uriah went by Percy.
And were these just nicknames they would go by?
Yes.
So, just to be clear, if we're talking about Aaron, that's Tara, correct?
Yes.
And if we're talking about Percy, that's Uriah, correct?
Yes.
You stated you got a phone call from Tara and Uriah.
Yes.
What was it that Uriah said on the phone?
He had seconded what Tara had said about the grandmother that they were staying at the house with being abusive towards them.
Okay.
And I think that had kind of prompted them to ask me, hey, can you give us a ride away from this situation?
Okay. So the phone call was based for a ride?
Yes.
Okay. And was there any communication after that initial phone call?
Some, just to further the details of where I would be picking them up and what they would be bringing along with them.
Okay. And did you have those conversations also through Instagram?
Yes.
Was it through both calls and messages?
Both calls and messages.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness? All right, Nick, I'm approaching you with what's been marked as states 3 through 14. Without telling me what they are, will you please look through them and let me know if you recognize them?
I recognize these papers.
All right. And how is it that you recognize them?
They're my messages and Tara's.
They're your messages. And these are the same calls as well that you have with Tara and Uriah?
Yes.
And have they been changed or altered in any way other than the evidence sticker that's on them?
No.
Your Honor, State's going to move to omit states 3 through 14, tendering to opposing counsel for any objection.
No objection, Judge.
Hearing no objection, states 3 through 14 will be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. It may be state published.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Anderson, I'm showing you what's been marked as states 3. Can you tell us what that name is at the very top?
Aaron.
And we discussed earlier that Aaron is who?
Tara.
And for those of us who may not be social media savvy, what social media application is this?
Instagram.
And on what side would be the messages from Tara and Uriah?
Tara's messages are gray and mine are blue.
Okay. The ones coming from Aaron's phone are on the left, and the ones coming from your phone are on the right. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, can you tell us what time this initial call came in?
8:51.
And do you recall on what day of the week that was?
I believe it was a Wednesday.
And you told the jury here a minute ago that you were trying to work out a ride, is that correct?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Of course. You told the jury that in your conversation with Tara and Uriah, you were trying to work out details of a ride for them, correct?
Yes.
And were you going to give them a ride?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. What was your plan?
Well, we had talked about some locations that I would be able to bring them to. First, Tara had suggested that they would be taken to Wyoming, and I couldn't drive them that far. That was a little bit out of my league to do so. But then we had kind of settled down and said that they could stay the night at my place. So that's what we were going to try and get together.
And so in States 8, is this kind of what you're talking about? They were telling you where they lived, and then you say Wyoming was a little far for you.
Yes.
Okay. And ultimately you said the decision was made for them to crash at your place for a little bit, okay? Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, ultimately, did you end up picking up Tara and Uriah?
No.
Why?
So the address that they had sent me, it didn't have the full location listed on the link that I was going to click on. And I started driving to a separate area, and when my mom had seen where I was on a Life 360, kind of like a tracker, she said, "Why are you going to Houston? Come back this way." So I ended up pulling back, but before I did, I had phoned a friend and called him to try and pick them up instead.
And who was that friend?
Rigo?
And in States 12, we see a couple messages and calls and then a phone number. Can you tell us kind of what's happening at this point in y'all's conversation?
So around that time with the phone calls, that was when I had told them that I wasn't able to pick them up because I needed to head back home. And the phone number listed at the bottom, that was me referring them to my friend.
And that was, you said his name was Rigo?
Yes.
And do you know, was Rigo ultimately able to help them?
Yes.
Okay. And on States 13, kind of what's happening here?
So here I had, this is around the time that I had just finished sending them the phone number, and I told them that I wish them best of luck on finding a place to stay, and that was where we essentially stopped talking.
Okay. Now, after they got picked up by Rigo on that Wednesday, did you hear from them again?
I did hear from Rigo.
You heard from Rigo?
Yes.
Okay. Without telling me what Rigo said, when did you hear from Rigo?
30 minutes after.
Okay. So close in time to the same time period, around 12:30 hour we were looking at?
Yes.
Okay. And after you touched base with Rigo, did you hear from Tara or Uriah any more that day?
No.
Did you hear from them the next day?
No.
You're going to make a personal witness real quick.
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as States 14. You'll take a glance at it and see if you remember that message and when it was.
Oh, yes, this was the day after.
Okay, so you did hear from them the day after, is that correct?
Yes.
tell us a little bit about what's occurring here.
So, this was the day after Rigo had dropped them off, and I got asked about anybody else that I knew that I could refer them to take them further out of state, but I had nobody, and that was it.
And we saw in that last message that they were offering something in exchange for the ride. Is that correct?
Yes.
What was that?
Money?
Now, after those messages, did you hear from Tara or Uriah again?
No.
At that point, which I believe is Thursday, did you know if what they had told you was true, or if anything else had happened, or anything bad was happening?
The only thing that I was aware of was that what they had told me, that the grandmother was being abusive towards them.
Okay. And so, at any point after Thursday, did you come across or become aware of something else?
2 days after, so I'd say Friday, that's when there was a Facebook post, and that was saying that the grandmother was found dead in the home, and then that Tara and Uriah were suspects.
Okay. And once you saw that, what did you do?
I called the police.
Okay. And when you called the police, did you tell them everything that you've testified here today?
Yes.
And did you also provide them those screenshots we just showed the jury?
Yes.
After you spoke to the police, did you further contact or have any communication with Tara or Uriah?
No.
I'll pass this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Ackley?
Thank you. Sir, my name is Bill Agnew, and I represent Uriah, who's sitting here to my right. What was the nature you had of the relationship between Tara and her grandmother?
I only really knew Tara on a acquaintance level, so I don't think that I knew much about her family affairs.
Was that the first time you heard that her grandmother was abusive to her?
Yes.
Okay. You never heard it any other time other than that?
No, sir.
And y'all didn't talk about anything other than that?
No.
Okay. And your involvement or knowledge of Uriah was even more limited than that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass it away to Judge.
All right. Any further?
Nothing further?
Thank you, sir. You may step down. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the 5 o'clock hour. I'm going to go ahead and release you for the day. I'd like to remind you to please study the instructions that I've given you. Follow all instructions. Do not research the case. Do not do anything. Go home and enjoy yourselves. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Thank you.
All rise for the jury.